Are you smiling today? We've got a positive day once again. Things could change tomorrow, though, on the back of any bad piece of economic data. Tell us about where the markets are going right now. It seems that volatility is starting to look a little better today. But again, should we be cautious?
Yeah, well, the good news is the market's a little bit warmer than the weather here in Joburg, so we're up about 1%. Some welcome relief if we don't freeze to death. Yeah, look, I think the end of winter sale was on last week on some of the stocks. I think we've seen that the market really being priced for a lot of bad news, probably overpriced in our view. And you've seen buyers started to come in. Don't be fooled too much today. I mean, it was on fairly small volumes. I think about 7.5 billion when I'd left the desk. So it's not that much conviction. We've also come back to an interesting technical level. This 27,000 on the top 40 is kind of where all the panic set in. So we've recovered back to that level. So it'll be interesting. That level, which was previously support for the market, is now resistance. So we're going to have to see if the market can actually push through this in the next day or two. And as you say, with this meeting going on between Merkel and Co in Europe, that's really what we're going to have to be monitoring. If that doesn't seem to go too well, the markets could come in for a bit more of a sell-off.
Well, Brett, I think you hit the nail on the head when you spoke about the volume. In fact, 7.9 billion rand passing through the market, and we saw the massive losses last week and the week before. We saw very close to 20 billion rand passing through the market. Also, foreigners were net sellers of shares in South Africa last week. Are we at a pivotal and tipping point here, would you say, Brett? Are you concerned that we could actually see more bad news influencing the kind of returns that we would expect for 2011?
Look, we have to be nervous. I think the markets are going to be volatile for a time to come. We've seen the tsunami, so to speak, and we can expect some aftershocks. I'm not that nervous on the longer term. To tell you the honest truth, I really think there's a lot of value in the market. We haven't got into this crisis with elevated PEs. We're sort of looking at the market on a 12.5 times multiple. So I would be accumulating on weakness, and certainly when I look at the likes of the resource stocks, I'm happy to be accumulating Anglos under 300. I'm happy to be accumulating Billiton under 250. So I think there's lots of value there, and if you're willing to look through this mess, I think that you will be handsomely rewarded on a 12, 18-month basis. On a 1-month basis, it's anyone's guess.
Okay, so let's take a look at some of the big movers on the top 40. Kumba trading ex-div today, down 5.3%. We know that a lot of investors were actually participating in Kumba Iron Ore last week. Were you one of those, and what do you make of this company?
Yeah, we like Kumba. We weren't involved last week. I mean, at the end of the day, when you have a big dividend like that, I think it was in the region of 21 Rand being paid out of a stock, you will get investors coming in to buy it specifically for the dividend. So, a lot of the fall today was on the back of that, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it recover the dividend over the next couple of weeks. So I think a very, very good quality stock. Obviously got some of the issues around what's happening with ArcelorMittal, but certainly on the back of the earnings, one to have in the portfolio.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, Anglo American was up 1.25%. Amplats also up 1.6%, and both of these companies actually also trading ex-div today, but managing to end in positive territory.
Yeah, so you've got to add back 5 Rand extra to the Amplats share price and 2 Rand to the Anglo share price when you take the dividend into account. So really both stocks doing very, very nicely on the day. As I said, Anglo's under 300 to me is a very, very attractive longer term buy.
Let's touch on Harmony, also out with results today, and Harmony under significant pressure, down 4.6%. Yes, I suppose a double whammy for the likes of Harmony and all the gold shares, because gold has been coming under pressure today, but basically missing its expectations. They're talking about low costs for the first quarter of 2012. They're talking about their target remains unchanged at 2 million ounces for 2015. But what do you, I know that you're not very pro gold shares, but tell us what you think of these numbers.
Well, the big problem with the gold shares and for Harmony, is the fact that they struggle to turn the higher bullion price, the Rand bullion price, into earnings. And I think we see that once again with this miss, and the market punishing them for that. So, at the end of the day, if you look at Harmony share price over the last 5 years, it's pretty much flat, whereas you would have seen the Rand gold price triple. And I think for some people they ask the question, well, at what level on the Rand gold price do they start to make money? And I think that kind of cautiousness is what you see in investors. So a lot of investors preferring to go for the likes of a GLD, which just tracks the Rand gold price as opposed to some of the gold shares.
And those construction companies still coming under pressure. GroupFive posting a 44% drop in full year profits. We know that there's contrarian views out there saying, buy the construction space right now. But do you think that they've hit the bottom? Is this the end of the drama?
Yeah, I think the bad news is in the price. I mean, we're not seeing these guys once again on 10 and 15 multiples. They're on 5 and 6 multiples. So I think, you know, if you're looking for a speculative buy in the construction stocks, I don't think you're really going to be rewarded over the next 6 months. I think if you look at their statements, they're all saying that they're looking for things only to improve into next year. So if you're willing to take a view and hold on to the shares, I think they're at attractive levels.
Yeah.
But I don't think you're going to be seeing them shoot the lights out in the next 6 months, that's for sure.
Let's quickly touch on MTN, set to be releasing results later on this week. I know that you've got an outperform on MTN. Is it too late to get involved in MTN?
No, I mean, our guys have got it on their conviction buy list. So, I mean, target price on a 12-month basis in the region of 170 Rand. So, you know, it's sitting below 140 still. So once again, another one of those ones with the end of winter sales sign outside.